Hey there guys, Tim Heinrich with TeamRev.com, and this is a Motivation Saturday, actually, today. You know, motivation doesn't always have to happen on Monday. It can happen any day of the week. So I wanted to bring you this message today, and what I want to talk to you today about is your success is a foregone conclusion. Now, what do I mean by this? Are you saying to yourself, yeah, Tim, what does that mean? Does that mean I can just sit here and watch this video and think about my goals and they'll just magically appear one day? No, that's not what I'm saying. This is having to do with what sort of mindset are you bringing to the table when you're trying to achieve your goals, okay? So are you thinking to yourself, hey, if I follow this regimen and I follow this plan, I'm going to achieve my results. I'm going to achieve my goals. Or are you thinking to yourself, these sorts of plans have never worked out before. You always get started and you fall off the wagon, so why is this going to be any different? If you're coming in with that sort of mentality, what sort of results do you think you're going to get? And this is why I'm such a big proponent of journaling, because a lot of times we have certain thought processes in our heads that we're not even fully aware of. We're defeating ourselves before we even get started, and we think it's because of some outside force or that maybe we're not capable of doing this. And so we believe much less for ourselves because that's what we're telling ourselves in our head. And a lot of these thoughts sometimes are handed down throughout life. It could have been something our parents gave us or something, that we kind of picked up through society or through the friends that we had around us in our lives. But either way, some of these are habitual thought patterns that unless you take the time to actually write them down or actually pay attention to them and see, it's like, why is it that I think this way? Not just accepting it as something that is the way it is, realizing that this is something that you can change. And if you're telling yourself negative thoughts, if you're being pessimistic and the way you're going about achieving your goals and achieving any sort of big success in your life, then this is going to dictate your results your whole time. And of course, not getting results time and time again is going to feed right back into that thought process and make it even stronger in you. So I want to tell you today that your success is a foregone conclusion. I want you to write this down, put it up somewhere where you can read it all the time, because your mind's going to keep coming in. If you've been thinking negatively for a long time, you're going to have to keep reminding yourself of what is true and what is possible for you. And wouldn't you rather believe the things that you really want to accomplish in life are truly possible for you? The biggest way that you do that is by changing your thought process about them. You are capable of so much more than you think that you are. And if you remind yourself of that, if you keep telling yourself that, guess what? You're going to start to get better results in your life. I mean, one of the reasons you're watching this video right now is that you're wanting some motivation. You're wanting to hear a positive message, right? That means you want more for yourself in your life. And that is possible for you. But what if you could tell yourself that? What if the thoughts in your mind were always positive, telling you the things that you really wanted to hear? That's possible for you in your lifetime, but it does take work. It does take consistency. And you have to foster and develop that belief that your success is a foregone conclusion. Just because you're not there yet, just because you haven't lost the 30 pounds yet, or you haven't gotten that cut rip body that you have yet, or you've been working out for 3-4 weeks and you haven't seen the physical results that you're wanting just yet, that does not mean that changes aren't happening underneath the surface. That doesn't mean that your work has gone completely to waste, okay? The fact that you've showed up day after day to get to this point means that you have experienced changes. And as you keep believing in the process, you keep tapping in and paying attention to the small changes, the nuances, the inner changes, the mental changes. The fact that you've showed up and been consistent for as long as you have, that means that you've already gone through a change. If you've never been consistent before, this is a change in and of itself. You are growing inwardly. And by that, the inner strength translates to the outer strength. And eventually you're going to start to see those physical changes that you want. And sometimes they usually show up when you're not looking for them. All of a sudden one day you look in the mirror and you're like, wait a minute. All of a sudden my waist is slimmer. Oh, I see some definition where I didn't have it before. This is the way it works. And the only way you get to that is by paying attention to the belief process, sticking with the positivity, sticking with my results are foregone conclusion. I am making changes right now. No matter what I can see, they're happening. And I believe in the process and I trust in the process. Once you start doing that, the results will come. They will come faster than you think they will. And your beliefs will change because you'll start to see those results. But first things first, work on that mind. Do not judge your results only by what you see on the outside. Reprogram your mind to tell yourself the positive things. Don't give in to those pessimistic thoughts. The ones that are telling you this isn't working, you should give up, you should quit. I mean, we tell ourselves that stuff in our heads all the time. Imagine if you had somebody in your life who is telling you that stuff, just standing right next to you all the time saying, it's not going to work. Why are you even bothering? Why are you taking the time? Why should you get up so early to work out? It's so early, you should get some more rest. Why are you taking the time to plan out your meals? So much easier to just get pizza at lunch. This is such a waste of time. It's going to be like the other times and you're not going to get the results. Can you imagine if you had somebody like that in your life talking to you all that time? You would exodus that person from your life immediately. So why are you allowing that to exist in your head? You know, it's a different process, and I know it's easier said than done, but pay attention to this, okay? If you're telling yourself stuff like this in your head, guess what? What kind of results do you think you're going to get? Okay? So remember that as you go forward. Tell yourself the positive things. Watch videos like this. Find other motivational things that tell you different things than what you've been telling yourself in your head. Start listening to those every day. Reprogram how you're thinking about this, and you will start to get the results that you want. This is Tim Heinrich with TeamRev.com. Motivation Saturday, yes, yet again. Thanks so much for watching this message. Put any comments in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.